This week's episode is brought to you by New Body sleeveless hoodies. Available in multiple styles, these are the ultimate in armless fashion. Versatile, yet comfy. For all your armless hoodie needs, get on down to New Body Fitness. Welcome to Dumb and Dumbbell, episode 1. So, what is Dumb and Dumbbell?
You tell me. I really don't know what you've dragged me into.
Okay, so basically what we had, we both had this idea, it wasn't just me. Basically a podcast / videocast, however you choose to listen to us or watch us over the next few weeks. It's kind of like a light-hearted information, educational?
Yeah, why not?
We're using the word educational.
We've got a whiteboard, there's lessons.
It's a bit of fun to take your mind off things that are going on right now, but we don't say the word, do we?
No, we don't use anything like lock or up or even the other one down or anything else like that. No, don't believe in it, So, episode 1, what have we got in store for you? So, we've got an interview with one of our PTs, lovely PT, Hattie, up in Bridport. And we've also got a product review happening today with myself and Nick, which is Jawbreaker, something that's new into both of our clubs. Looking forward to that one, forbidden fruit flavour. So yeah, we'll see about that. Then we've got another interview, and it's all about food and mood and how it can benefit, how food can benefit your mood, is what I'm trying to say, with the lovely Cait, who's still a big part of our business, so we're looking forward to that. And yeah, so I suppose the first things first, we've got a update from our studio from our news reporter Nick with the latest New Body news.
Let's pass over.
Now for the latest news report, live from New Body Fitness with your host Nicholas Bell.
Hello and welcome to the news straight from New Body Fitness. So, headlines today. We are still closed. Wait, we're getting an update from our weatherman Ross. He is on site, bringing you our latest weather. Let's pass it over.
Okay, thanks for that, Nick. We're live now. Oh my god, it's live weather report. It's wet. Back to you in the studio. That is breathing.
Oh, thanks, Ross. It didn't look pleasant. Right, that's today's news and weather. Back to the boys in the studio.
Nick, thanks for that. Live in the studio for that really in-depth and in-detailed news report. So earlier on in the week, we caught up with the lovely Hattie, one of the PTs up in Bridport, talking about fitness at home, a little bit about her and about her history. That's right?
Yep. Let's see what happens. Right, welcome to our interview on Dumb and Dumbbell. Today we're joined by Hattie, personal trainer in Bridport. So it's great to have you on today.
Woo!
Hi.
From all of our fans.
Yeah. So I suppose give us an idea of how you got into fitness and what your role is and what you do.
So I used to be a swimmer. So from when I was like 8 till I was about 16, I used to swim competitively, and I started off at a club in Bridport and then went over to a club on Portland. And then I quit swimming when I was like 16, exams, and I got a social life, basically discovered partying. So I stopped swimming, put on a few pounds, and I wasn't overly happy with it. So, and then at the same time, I joined the TA, like Territorial Army. So I was running at that point, just literally as I want to lose a bit of weight. And then all the lads, so in the TA, I did recruiting, and I worked Monday to Friday at the TA centre to try and get them people. I was the only girl there. So I would go off on my little run. All the blokes would be like, oh, we're going to the gym. I'd be like, bye then. And then they were like, come to the gym, come to the gym, come to the gym. I was like, fine, I'll come to the gym. And they basically introduced me to the gym. And that was that. And after that, I was like, this is it. I love it, which is pretty good.
Did you get did you kind of immediately get the buzz then for it, was it?
Yeah, pretty much, because we had a little gym on site which had pretty much everything you needed, and we got an hour a day paid to go and train. So,
all right, nice.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you? Was that a totally new experience going to the gym at that point?
I used to go to the gym on and off when I was like a teenager, but I didn't know what I was doing. I just faffed around. I did lots of like circuit training and stuff like that because we did a lot of land-based training when I swam. But that was all like bodyweight circuits and stuff like that. Like if someone had said to me like, "You got to do a deadlift," I'd be like, "A what? Like what?"
I think that's it. I think that's the thing as well. Like when you're younger and you're into sport, like depending on whatever level you are, the gym's always like a sideline, and you kind of go if you get told to go. But I think looking back on it, like when I played competitive sport, and I'm sure if you were swimming, if you could have had that opportunity to do it again, like that would have been a massive focus of your training, I assume.
Yeah, you don't realise how important it is until later on. At the time, you do it because you're told to. Whereas now, you would think actually that's going to be like 50% of your training, not just a little extra on the side. But hey, live and learn.
So fast forward to now, what's your, obviously we know what you do, but for the people, the hundreds and hundreds of viewers, thousands of viewers,
millions, isn't it?
Well, millions. Well, you never know.
Joe Rogan's literally putting us on his channel. Like,
what's your story now? What are you up to?
So I work as a self-employed personal trainer. I used to, so before I made the switch to New Body and came over to the dark side, I was employed and then switched over to New Body. But I've done personal training now for like 5-6 years, but recently it's obviously weird because gyms are shut, you're in and out. So all of first lockdown, I did nothing because I was technically furloughed. Therefore, I was living the dream, couple of months off work paid, fabulous. And then through summer, I just went and PT'd outdoors all day, every day, which was, again, pretty good actually, because it was sunny and not a drama. And I came and joined you guys at New Body, which obviously was the best move I've ever made in my life, obviously.
Woo!
Yeah. And then started PTing out at New Body at Bridport. Most of my clients came with me, luckily. I said to them that I'm switching gyms, and they went, all right, we're coming with you. So I was like, fabulous, cheers, guys. And what was it, November lockdown? Yeah, November lockdown, I did Tootill, quite frankly. I sat around for a month feeling sorry for myself. Managed to train every day, but that was literally it. And back in the gym for a bit more. And obviously we're in third lockdown. Yeah. So now I'm back doing outside sessions, unless like today it's chucking it down, in which case I'm having a lazy day. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then obviously before we started this, you said you've had quite a good amount of clients who just say, right, let's carry on, let's keep a motivation going. And have you found the switch easy, or is it, how have you found it?
I think because most of them did it with me over the summer, it's not as big of a switch as it may have been. It's only really my older clients who can't really cope with being outside when it's a bit chilly who haven't done it. Funny enough, I've only got maybe one client who's made the switch to Zoom. No one else wanted to do Zoom. They all just went, no, we want to do it face to face if we can. So it's like, okay, but I'm probably doing like 3-4 sessions a day, unless today.
That's really positive to hear that a lot of your clients have actually gone, no, I want to do that face to face. So they're keeping that momentum, that motivation, which is really, really good.
Well, what a lot of them have said is because they're not working, otherwise they're just going to sit around all day and basically it's going to be horrible for them. They're going to get depressed. A lot of them, it's mental health. Like loads of them have said, we just don't want to be sat around all day. And some have say gone, I'm not at work, I'm on furlough, so I've still got a bit of money. Can we up our sessions to set more sessions a week? Because they've got the time. So actually a lot of people are training more now than they would ordinarily, which is really good.
Yeah,
but all of them said they want to keep going because it's all about ahead.
Yeah, hopefully they come out the other end of this even better off, reinvested back in himself, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a personal trainer who from the outside looks like everything's great and the world is great, or it could be any walk of life. Like everyone's struggling,
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I think if you can kind of keep some positivity, some momentum, you know, and like Ross said, that kind of continual movement going forward, I think that's a huge thing right now.
Yeah, massive. All of them have said actually, it's now more than ever, it's about keeping active and mental health as opposed to the physical side of it. Like, it's more important than it ever has been.
Has there been any bits coming through from either yourself or from your clients that have kind of, where you've mentioned the whole well-being side of things? Obviously, there are some people that struggle more than others, and they keep themselves at home. To what kind of giving them that momentum? What kind of giving them that drive? Apart from obviously them wanting to do the one-to-one with you sort of thing, but they given any tips or advice, or is there anything that you can give to kind of help with that forward momentum each day?
Don't lie in.
Don't lie in.
Literally. So I do this, and so do a lot of my clients, that if you haven't got anything on the daytime, you will lie in till like 10, 11 in the morning, and then you're not tired, and all of a sudden your sleep pattern is ruined. And that's like the worst thing. So nearly all of my clients, we're doing morning sessions, because I've got to get up, otherwise I wouldn't, and they've got to get up. And that is it. Like, do not lie in. Or, well, no, don't lie in ridiculously late, because that's been killer for a lot of them, because they've got no routine, and it all goes down the pan, pretty much. Get up.
It's too easy, isn't it, to get up? But you know, I think I was going to, you know, if you think about when you used to get up in normal life, you know, 7, 8 o'clock, like now, I can't remember.
Yeah. You're like, why bother? I've got nothing that needs doing.
Get a dog.
It does like that.
Yeah.
So in terms of any practical advice, obviously getting up early for people who want to get fit at the moment, or kind of just keep their mental health on track. You know, anything practical, you know, in terms of, you know, physical stuff that they can do as well.
Exercise wise, it does not have to be like a sweaty HIIT session in your living room. It really doesn't. It's whatever you enjoy doing. Like, if you want to go for a roller skate, so be it. Like, that'll do. Then go outside. Just don't spend all day cooped up, pretty much. Even if it's like a 5-minute stroll, do it.
That's actually like 3 really key points. So obviously sleep pattern's one thing you've mentioned, creating that plan, so actually getting something booked in or something to look forward to. And then obviously doing something that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be what you think it is, which is obviously your burpees and your press ups in your living room sort of thing. If you want to go for a walk, roller skate, like you said, we are definitely going roller skating after this in the rain. So yeah, that's 3 really key things that people can take on board that does actually help. Doing things that you enjoy is one of the things that people tend to leave behind.
I think
I'm all about that.
Know what everyone else thinks, and just do what you want to do. Like, sod it. Yeah.
I think that there is a point where we get so conditioned to thinking, right, okay, we've got to all be doing Joe Wicks in the morning, and you know, if we're not doing dips on our sofa, then we're failing. I think, you know, actually throwing a frisbee around the park is just as good as anything else, or probably not at the minute. Yeah.
Well, no. But if you don't enjoy doing burpees in your living room, because realistically, who does, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't force yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of time for that. Yep. Honesty. Nice. Okay, so moving on.
We are going to go through our famous 5 questions. We do this with all of our guests that come onto the show. 5 completely kind of random questions, but just a little bit more insight into you and for our millions of viewers, as we said.
Millions.
I feel exposed.
See the number tallying up.
You've got to be confident in it, you know? into existence.
If I lose clients, it's entirely you guys' fault.
If you lose clients,
that won't happen.
You're going to gain clients. You'll be so busy, you won't know what to do.
It'll be us roller skating.
So, Hattie, first question.
Hello. Yeah.
If you didn't have a career in fitness, what career would it be?
Oh, see, this is the hardest question. The hardest.
Wait for the maths one later.
Yeah, which I didn't come up with a good answer for. My initial thought was, say, like a physiotherapist, but that's pretty similar-ish, like same fields. But I was literally like, I don't know.
That's good. I mean, it shows your passions in what you do.
Yeah, no, I literally don't know. We'll come back to that maybe.
Maybe you get there.
I still haven't had an answer for it, you see.
We'll put that one on the back burner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the next one we got?
Strong start.
Hey, no worries. All right. So if you could have a meal with two people, anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be? You don't have to say us, like most people do, but
everyone kind of does, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, see, this one I actually have answers for. So, number one, Matt Fraser is in CrossFit Dude.
Nice.
Yeah, and number two, have you heard of a lady called Courtney DeWalter? She's an American ultra runner.
Right.
She's insane. Oh, Google her. She's mental. But those two. So Matt Fraser and Courtney DeWalter.
Why?
So Matt Fraser, because he's just ridiculously good at what he does. Like, you have the best in, say, like, you look at like the CrossFit game. I'm a proper like CrossFit nerd. I don't do it, but I love watching it because I can't do half of that. But you look at, say, like the CrossFit games, and he's head and shoulders better than everyone else. How? Like, how do you become that much better than the best in the world? Therefore,
you'd have dinner with him to find out. How?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like, how do you become so much better than everyone else when you're looking at the elite?
Yeah. What's the mentality like? How do you? Yeah, if you're in the 1% already, how do you become that
Yeah.
one of the 1%?
Yeah. And then Courtney DeWalter is she is mental. She's I think she's in her 30s, but she's an American woman. She used to be a secondary school science teacher, or whatever you call it in America. And she started running just because, and it turned out she was really good at it. And she started winning ridiculous races, and she gave up her day job and just ran for a living. But she'd go off and do like the ridiculous races, like 24 hours, how far can you run? 200-mile events, stuff like that, which is unreal. So last, what year? 2018, I did. Two mates of mine said to me, they were like, do you want to come and do a 100k ultra challenge? And I was like, no, not a chance. And they said, well, it's only walking. And I was like, oh yeah, go on then, it's walking. How hard can it be? It was really, really hard. Like, nearly died. So after that, I was like, well, I've walked the 100k. I'm going to try and run 50k. So I signed up there was an event last May, or was meant to be, which was the Jurassic Coast Challenge. So I signed up to run 50k of that, got cancelled. But I did all the training for it. And when I was doing all the training, I watched all these documentaries about this woman, and her mental game is unreal. Like, she'll be hallucinating, and she's like, well, in 24 hours, it'll be fine. I'll be tucked up in bed. And she's literally running along hallucinating, and she just keeps going. She's better than, she beats all the men. She will flat out win races against everyone. But she's just incredible.
Yeah, it's another completely different mindset, isn't it? Ultra.
I'm tired.
Have you watched a documentary called The Iron Cowboy?
No.
They need to have, I think it's on Amazon or Netflix, or
good plug for our sponsor.
You're on permission.
Other streaming services are available. Yeah, Iron Cowboy is about a guy who does I think he does like a triathlon every day around America. Indeed. And but it's definitely worth a watch. I think it's Iron Cowboy.
The one, the good one that's this woman that I'm saying about is, I think it's called like Finding Traction. It was on Netflix. And it's like an hour and a half, but it's the most motivational thing you'll ever watch. Even if you hate running, you'll be like, I want to go for a run. It's just brilliant. Like, I don't like running.
Yeah.
But
I don't dish of that theory. I don't run a bath, so that's about it.
Just running away from you.
Question number 3. If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why?
Oh, see, this one, easy. New Zealand, because I'm a secret nerd and I want to go and visit the Shire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bit of Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah.
Good day.
That is where I'd go.
Okay, cool. If you could, number 4, if you could speak to yourself 10 years ago, what would you say? What advice would you give?
Ignore all the teachers at school. Basically. So when I was at school, ignore all the teachers at school.
Wow.
So
strong.
For
any of Hattie's teachers that are watching or tuning in, do better.
So when I was at school, it was always, you have to get, so I went to a grammar school, believe it or not, and therefore all the emphasis was on you have to get straight A's and A stars. In reality, I wanted to piss off and do sport every day. I got on every sport team so I could get out of school. But because of the type of school it was you went to one of the top tier universities and you did an academic subject. So I did that. Lasted 3 months at university, hated every single second. What I should have done is ignored all of them and gone and done sport or something at university, stuck it out, would have loved it. So I should have ignored all the teachers at school that said you need to go and do an academic subject.
Good. So the fifth and final question.
Yeah.
To leave on a good positive note, an inspirational quote that you either follow or something you've heard that kind of inspired you along the way, or just share it with our millions.
Okay, so my boyfriend is normally away Monday to Friday. So I will text him and I'll be like, oh yeah, no, I'm just off to go train. And he'll be like, brilliant. He's not interested in the gym in the slightest, couldn't care less, not his jam. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm off to train. And he will just text me in capital letters, pick it up, put it down, do it again. Pick it up, put it down, do it again. And that is my, it's become like a thing. Yeah.
Like simple and effective. I like it.
Yeah.
Especially the capitals as well. I think that must help.
But he's shouting it, isn't he? Yeah. But that's it. Pick it up, put it down, do it again.
Else is there?
Yeah. Easy.
Amazing. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there. I think that's good. I mean, thanks for the amazing advice. Thanks for getting to know you a little bit better. I hope people watching have enjoyed it as well.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, enjoy the continuous outdoor training, and I hope your clients are enjoying it as well.
Yeah,
we look forward to seeing you back in the gym as soon as we can. But yeah, we'll leave it there and
look forward to being back. I miss it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Hattie.
Right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, welcome to this segment of the show, which is our product review. So, every week we're going to look at different products. Today we're looking at Jawbreaker pre-workout, one of the new pre-workouts we've had in the club. Their tagline is "Zero fucks given," so it sounds like a nice product. Dosage-wise, you don't do one scoop, obviously, not any more than that, because it's going to be a strong stuff. There's an amount of ingredients on there I've never heard of. Obviously, we're going to do a small amount. We're not going to be taking We're going to do a small amount because you'd be crazy to do any more than that. We've gone for forbidden fruit flavour, meant to help with energy, focus. Luckily, there's zero crash. So, what have you done?
Did what you said, take a small one scoop with water.
You're doing a tiny bit.
Oh.
Oh God. So Jawbreaker pre-workout flavour-wise, what do you think? Forbidden fruit.
It should be forbidden, but
out of 10. Can you taste it?
Yeah.
Can you smell it?
No, you can't. Really bad.
It wasn't going to go like this. We're going to do a small amount.
Yeah. See what happens.
I mean. Yeah, that was really good. I mean, we're going to have this once we're back open on our shake bar and things, but I mean, I suppose
once it's gone, you really get that sour chewness. There's a little bit chew.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out what that's like in a minute. Yeah, thanks. What are you doing?
That was disgusting. No idea. Why do you even make me do this shit? Honestly. Okay,
so next on the show we have Cait. So she is basically working on a nutrition course. She's fantastic at what she does. Very positive as well. It's an amazing person to have on the show. She's talking all about food, how it can improve our mood, what you can do at home to kind of improve your diet and improve your nutrition. It's a great chat. Here's what happened. You all right?
To get a train.
We're recording.
We're recording.
We're good.
Okay, so welcome to our first guest of the day. We've got Cait here. So Cait's been part of the team for a couple of years, and she's really amazing with the nutrition. One of the most positive people you'll ever meet. So we're really happy to have you on, our little kind of podcast today. So give us an idea of what your background is and kind of what you're into.
So thank you first of all for having me. It's great fun, and it's always nice to see you guys' face and feel part of the team again. So I've been at Newbody for 2 years. Absolutely loved it. Can't believe I'm not in Weymouth anymore or Bridport, but it's still nice to feel part of the team. So I started kind of in the fitness side of things when I was about 12. I got into competitive swimming, traveled all over, and that was the reason I kind of stuck with it. I loved seeing the world. I loved being with your friends and getting to travel. I thought it was great fun. Then going to university, I studied sports science and then kinesiology as well. And I really enjoyed the kind of people's biomechanics and human movement, and ways that you could change that for individuals to kind of progress through sport, to make an athlete as good as they can possibly be. So then that kind of developed on. I left university when I was 21, more or less. And then that interest of that kind of individual programming kind of developed into the nutritional side of things. So I've been studying nutrition. I'm in my 3rd year now. So I'm going to graduate in the summer. I really enjoy this course because it is looking at the individual. So it's looking at how you can take the nutrition for an individual, improve it, tweak it to make them either the most healthy they can be, perform as best as they possibly can, or support them in ways that they are kind of aiming for. But I think it's really important to look at individuals as opposed to the kind of general population. So I think that's where a lot of misinformation can come from, where people take that general and try to make it specific as opposed to looking at the individual.
So would you say there's a top tip that you can give to try and help with that individuality when it comes to nutrition?
For an individual, I would say it is a long journey and it is a process. There's not one diet, there's not one protocol or intervention that can fit everybody. Your body will react completely differently to mine, to Nick's, to everybody's. So it's finding what works for you and then building on that. So say, for example, if you take eating 2,000 calories a day might work great for me, but won't work great for you. So taking what you find and then tweaking it individually. So looking at each component of those calories, looking at each kind of macronutrient, making sure you're getting what your body's asking for. I think the main one that might kind of be important for kind of like food and mood is recognizing when you're hungry. I think that's something that we've moved away from so much today, or in society today, forgetting what hungry looks like or what it feels like, and being like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, I must eat lunch. Oh, it's 6 o'clock, I must eat dinner. Looking at where am I actually hungry, and then it kind of the same with snacking as well. Sorry, I don't know if that
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, in terms of like what you're doing now with your course, and that you're going to be working to people, with people individually and things, are you going to be taking them on, I suppose, from an initial consultation phase to creating a plan for them at the end of that, and looking at any kind of like, anything they're lacking or anything that they need to work on?
Yeah, so hopefully after the summer, when I get started, it will be taking an individual. So it'll be looking at every aspect of not just their diet, but their lifestyle. So how they're eating, if they're sitting down, if they're chewing their foods, what they're doing after that, if they're cooking their foods, how they're cooking their foods, exercise, movement, relaxation. So looking at the stress load on their lives individually, and how that will then impact. But also looking at like the components of their food, so making sure they've got enough of their vitamins, enough of their minerals, and making sure that they're being absorbed into the body. So it's not just what you put in, but it's how much your body can take from that food as well. So just looking at that as each.
Yeah, we've looked a lot at like things like your gut health and things like that. So because that type of thing's got to be on point before you eat anything, really. Because if gut health rubbish or your stress level's too high, you're just not going to absorb anything, are you? So
yeah, you just put it all in and pee it straight out again. So it's really looking at that. They call it the cephalic phase of digestion. So making sure to begin with, you're smelling your food, so you're getting your stomach acid, you're getting your enzymes released, and then you're chewing it all, so it's in small pieces for your gut to further break down. So it's looking at that whole culture around the meal, as opposed to just putting in 5 fruits and veg, protein and carbohydrates at every meal. So just looking at that whole picture.
That pizza on Friday, well, I smelled that one coming. Don't know if it helped me digest it at all, but it definitely went down okay.
Steps in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a good sign, then I'm doing all right.
That's good. So you kind of briefly touched on it, the whole food and in relation to your mood sort of thing. Obviously in the current situation, not mentioning what we're in, but we all know about it. It can be too easy to kind of comfort eat around these sorts of times. Suppose it's anything that you can possibly give to let's call them viewers, because we're going to have loads of viewers. Viewers. There's definitely multiples. So yeah, anything in relation to how those any good foods or anything that can kind of maybe attack that sweet tooth or something like that, but can really benefit from either helping to improve your mood or energy levels or whatever the case may be.
Yep. So as you said, looking at things like sugars and stuff. So comfort eating, I am terrible for it. I have been over the past kind of 10 years. It's been one of those vices that I've had to really kind of think about, address, and then work on. So I'm a big person when I'm stressed. I'm like, oh, sugar, I just need sugar, which is probably one of the worst things you can do. So if you're stressed, if you're tired and your energy's low, it would tend to suggest your blood sugar is kind of decreasing a little bit. So when you eat sugar, it shoots up and then overcorrects or crashes down again. So what you really want to look at doing is eating things more whole grains, fruits and maybe not fruits, vegetables, something that's going to be slow release. So making sure that you have, for example, a slice of bread, like wholemeal bread with hummus, which is going to give you a good healthy supply of fats, and some form of protein. So it could be tuna, it could be ham, chicken, anything like that that's just going to kind of slow that digestion down. Making sure you do have those components, so carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, to make a nice complete meal. So we've all seen those eat well plates. So you've got half a plate of veggies, some carbs, some proteins, some fats. And you want to make sure you balance each of the meals, because each of these components are going to do something for your body. They're going to give you something. So having the carbohydrates is going to help absorb that food, because it's going to give you some insulin. But making sure they're slow release, so you don't have too much, so your blood sugar shoots up. My other advice would be more around the lifestyle style of things. So if you are feeling down, if you are feeling low energy, you're tired, making sure that sit with it, think, okay, maybe why am I feeling these feelings? Am I tired? Am I thirsty? Is it not enough outside? Am I lonely? Do I need to talk to somebody? And kind of thinking where those feelings are coming from. So tools that I found really, really useful is journaling. So if I'm sitting there thinking there's half a slice of chocolate cake in the fridge, that's all I want to eat, and that's all you can think about eating, kind of sitting with it for a while, thinking, okay, why do I want to eat this? Am I hungry? Am I just wanting the sugar? Why do I want the sugar? Is it better if I eat something else first? But then ultimately, if you do really want that chocolate cake, then that's okay, and knowing that that's okay. Saying I don't need to earn food, I don't need to punish myself for eating food, it's okay if I want to eat it, going and eating it, and then thinking, great, eaten it, I really enjoyed it, let's move on. instead of dwelling on it and beating yourself up, because that just causes more stress, which is going to make you more unhappy.
Yeah, no, exactly. So obviously viewers, again, have heard it from Cait's mouth that it is okay to have that little slab of chocolate cake or a little guilty pleasure every now and again if you need it. I'll kind of relay this more to myself, but I know there's others that kind of suffer from it as well. When it comes to veggies, I do kind of have that mentality. If it's green, it's minging. So it's how to kind of put that into your diet. Is there ways that you can still get that nutrition in without necessarily having to eat like a big pile of broccoli or something like that?
Absolutely. So kind of going back to that kind of food for mood, greens are great, yes. But if you want to focus on, they say purples, blues, and blacks. So these have got great nutrients in there, very high in antioxidants. They're full of what are called polyphenols, and they can offer you some incredible nutrients. They're not green, and they tend to include like lots of berries, which are low in sugar, but contain lots of really good nutrients for you. Things like beetroot as well are going to help to add flavor. But if you struggle thinking like, oh, it's green, it's minging, you can go through so many other color ranges like aubergines and peppers, and not just hitting on those greens. My advice for eating just a range is making sure you're seasoning things. So a really quick and easy way I like going through things is just chopping up whatever vegetables I can find in the fridge, sticking them in the pan and putting lots of, I like curry seasonings, any kind of those strong kind of cuminy curry flavors. Just if you don't like the taste, they can mask lots of tastes. I eat miso paste with a lot of things because it's really salty, but it's also a fermented food, so it's really good for your gut. But it's just finding little kind of tips and tricks. If you don't like green veggies, but you think you should be eating them, putting them into a soup, so hiding them behind like lentils and peppers, can really help as well. Not that you want to hide vegetables, but just initially to get into the habit of eating them, it can be quite a nice little trick. To include in your diet.
I'm looking forward to lots of soups coming up.
I'm going to make so many soups. But yeah, no, it's so you going back to the colours. That's something I haven't heard of before. You mentioned beetroot. Are there any others that like kind of top 5 maybe that people may not know that's really good? They're high in antioxidants and stuff like that.
So basically, any vegetable that is, so there's a lot of different types of phytonutrients, and they're all the good things that you can get from plants, that are really absorbable. They're antioxidant. They can take down inflammation in your body, which can help you recover. They can act as anti-cancer, anti-diabetics. They really help to balance your blood sugar. So basically every different color kind of relates to a phytonutrient more or less, as a rule of thumb. So things like carrots, sweet potato, they've got your beta carotenes in, so that orange color. You have, they've got some crazy names, but things like lycopenes are in tomatoes.
My mind is literally blowing slightly, like I don't know if anyone can see it, but
so basically this is the advice given to people, is to just eat as many fruit and vegetables as you can. So my advice to people is to go out and maybe pick up a vegetable that you've not eaten before or not eaten in a while. Chop it up. A really easy way to cook veggies is just either boil them, stick them in a steamer pan in the microwave for a couple minutes with a bit of water at the bottom, or just fry them. We fry so many vegetables in our house. We have to vegetable shop 3 times a week. It's mental. But you do just want to try and like branch out. There's different guides on the internet, and you can just click on like, how do you cook an aubergine? And it'll come up with some helpful guides over the internet.
Maybe you just use this time to take advantage of the extra time we've got and experiment a little bit, and create a bit of a rainbow on your plate, and if you like it, great. If you don't, try something else.
Exactly. If you like it, then great. If you don't like it, then at least you've tried it. So
yeah, I'll say sounds good.
Maybe we should get like a little competition that people have to post what they've created.
We've got a nice colourful plate.
Yeah, colourful plates, lots of veggies that are hidden but not hidden. Soups.
We're onto something.
Yeah,
We are on something here. Like, yeah.
Okay, amazing. So that is our. Thank you very much for those tips, and hopefully all our hundreds of viewers are going to be taking them on, making their plates very, very colourful, and feeling a lot better about their food for the next kind of couple of weeks. So moving on, we are going into our famous five. So this is our 5 questions that we ask every guest or interviewee that we have on our hit show.
It's a hit.
Oh, is it hit? You've got to be positive.
It's a hit show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to say things and bring them into reality. So we've got 5 questions, completely random questions. So we're looking forward to seeing your answers on them. Ross, do you want to take away number 1?
Yeah. So you mentioned you started your fitness career at about the age of 12, but if you didn't have a career in fitness, what career do you think it would be?
Well, even when I was 12, I had my mind set and my heart set on being a marine biologist. So I guess that.
Amazing.
By the sea. Okay, so question number 2. If you could have a meal with any 2 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
So following on, of course you
We haven't
two.
got any food, but
But if you two weren't available, I know Nick doesn't like sharing his food, so probably my next 2 favorite people to have a meal with would be Steve Irwin, because I feel like he would have some crazy good stories about fish and just experiences and crazy just life experiences, which I think would be quite cool. The second one would be my favorite author, Paulo, I can't say his second name, but Coelho. Because he's been on he writes books of him traveling all around the world and doing cool stuff. So I feel like he'd have some pretty good stories, which would mean with the 2 of them talking, I wouldn't have to.
couldn't get a word in.
And whether they'd share their food or not would be a whole different story as well.
If
But
Steve brings his own food, it might be a little bit empty, isn't it?
okay, next question. If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why?
100% I would be in Rome. It is top of my travel list because anything like pizza, pasta, wine, some of the sights, but mainly for the food, honestly.
Bridport for pizza.
Can't get bad pasta in Rome.
Just Bridport for pizza, but it's okay.
This plate is up there. It's up there.
When we're out of lockdown, I'll be there.
Yeah. Okay, so if you could speak to yourself 10 years ago, what would you say?
Start reading books.
Did you not read or?
I was adamant that I couldn't read very well, so I wouldn't read at all. And now I feel like over the past kind of couple of years, I've had to play catch up. So I just tried to, especially in these lockdowns, I've been trying to read as much as possible, and it gives you such a more diverse way of looking at things because you get other people's point of view. It expands kind of where you're at, and I feel like there's so much we can learn and we can't do everything. So when you read books, you learn how other people have done things. I think it makes you a more empathetic person. And yeah, so I wish I had read a lot when I was younger, as opposed to having to read it all now. I see how much my brothers know and how many books they've read, and I feel like I'm playing catch up. So that would be my advice, but there's no time like the present to get started.
Last question of the famous 5. We're quite big on well-being and stuff like that. Do you have an inspirational quote, your kind of go-to that you can give everyone today and kind of share it?
I do. It's my screensaver on my phone. So it's love people and use things because the reverse never works.
Nice.
Just to get really
I like
deep
that.
and meaningful.
That's good. Like, that's what we want to give out. Like, that's good. No, I like that.
Yeah, straight to the point.
Powerful.
Amazing. Well, I mean, that's it from us. Thank you so much for being part of this and kind of sharing some info with us. Thanks for still being part of the team. You know, Cait's very much still part of New Body. She's on the groups with us in our Facebook members group. She's also part of our email team, so she's speaking to all our members constantly every week, annoying you with all our amazing emails. But you know, wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you so much for being, still being part of the team, Cait.
No, thank you, and thank you for today. I hope it could help even a little bit. I know you guys cheered me up, so Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's
Right.
what I like.
Well, we'll leave you to get on with the rest of your day. Get back to your reading, and
Thanks.
we're gonna go make some soup.
Enjoy.
Loads of soup.
Send
So
some
much soup.
pictures.
Cheers,
Right,
Cait.
See you later on.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's some great information from Cait there. I'm looking forward to putting some soups together and eating a lot more rainbow veg. How about you, mate?
Woo! That's the best session ever.
Well, looks like the pre-workout has officially kicked in. So thank you very much for listening or watching our very first episode of Dumbbell. We are back next week with some new guests and a few more laughs. See you soon.